First up, Intel Core i3. This is the budget-friendly starter pack of the CPU world. It's got 4 to 6 cores, which is just enough power to browse the web, handle your homework, and keep 20 browser tabs open before it starts gasping for air. It's perfect for office work or light gaming, but if you try to render a 4K movie on this, you might as well go make a sandwich, because it's going to be a while. Look for the U suffix in laptops. That stands for ultra-low power, or what I call the "I forgot my charger at home" mode. Then we have the Core i5, the people's champion. This is the 6 to 14 core middle child that actually did something with its life. It's the sweet spot for most people because it's fast enough for serious gaming, programming, and video editing, but it doesn't cost as much as a small island. On desktops, you'll see the K suffix, which means it's unlocked. This allows you to overclock it, which is basically telling your CPU to run faster than it was designed to, usually in exchange for your room getting 5 degrees hotter. Next is the Core i7. Now we're getting serious. This chip is for the person who says, "I don't just play games, I play games while streaming to 3 platforms, recording my screen, and running a virtual background of me in space." With up to 20 cores, it handles heavy multitasking like a pro. In laptops, you'll see the HX suffix. This is the zero regrets mode for gaming laptops. It's extremely powerful, but it will drain your battery faster than a hole in a bucket. Then there's the Core i9, the flagship beast. With up to 24 cores, this is pure overkill for 95% of humans. It's designed for professional 3D animators, data scientists, and people who get physically angry if their game drops below 300 frames per second. Most people who buy a Core i9 use about 10% of its power to scroll through Twitter. But hey, seeing those 24 bars in Task Manager is its own kind of therapy. Now things get a little confusing because Intel is moving away from the i naming. Enter the Core Ultra series. This is the new premium tier found in high-end laptops and the latest desktops like the Core Ultra 200S. These chips feature a built-in NPU, or Neural Processing Unit. Think of this as a specialized brain dedicated to AI. It handles things like background blur in Zoom calls and AI tools in Photoshop, so your main CPU can stay cool and focused on the actual work. It's the smart version of the Intel family. For business users, we have Intel vPro. This isn't a different speed, it's just a Core i5, i7, or i9 that went to corporate training. It adds extra security like hardware-level encryption and remote management. This allows your company's IT department to fix your computer from across the country, which is great until you realize they can also see how much time you spend playing solitaire. For the tiny devices, there's Intel Atom. This is the ultra-low power chip you'll find in point-of-sale machines at the grocery store or digital signs at the airport. It's not meant for gaming. It's meant to stay on for 3 years straight without needing a fan or a break. It's the marathon runner of the group. Not fast, but it never stops. Finally, we have the final boss, Intel Xeon. This isn't a CPU, it's a powerhouse for servers and workstations. With up to 60 or even 120 cores, it's designed for massive data centers and movie studios like Disney. You don't put this in a gaming PC, you put this in a machine that runs the internet. It's incredibly expensive, but it can handle workloads that would make a Core i9 curl up into a ball and cry. So, i3 for the basics, i5 for the masses, i7 and i9 for the pros, and Xeon if you're trying to simulate the entire universe. And if you want the newest AI features, look for that Ultra badge.
First up, Ryzen 3. This is AMD's entry-level hero. It usually comes with 4 cores and 8 threads, which is technical shorthand for it runs Google Chrome and Microsoft Word at the same time without the blue screen of death appearing. It's the perfect choice for students, office workers, or anyone whose primary goal is to finish a thesis or watch cat videos in 4K. If you try to run a massive modern game on this, your laptop might start sounding like a jet engine taking off from your lap, but for a budget build, it's a solid start. When looking at the names, you'll often see a letter at the end. In laptops, the U suffix is the most common. This stands for ultra-low power, but you can think of it as the battery lasts forever. It's designed for portability over raw speed. On the desktop side, keep an eye out for the G suffix. This means the chip has a decent graphics processor built right inside, so you don't actually have to sell a kidney to buy a separate graphics card just to get a picture on your screen. Next is Ryzen 5, the people's champion. This is the 6-core, 12-thread middle child that actually made something of itself. It is widely considered the sweet spot for most people because it's powerful enough for serious gaming and photo editing, but it doesn't cost as much as a used car. If you're building a gaming PC today, this is likely where you'll start. For laptop users, you'll see the H suffix here. This is for high-performance gaming laptops that need more muscle. On desktops, the X suffix is popular. It basically means the chip comes with higher clock speeds right out of the box. Think of it like the turbo button from the 90s, but it's always on. Moving up the ladder, we hit Ryzen 7. This is the high-performance tier with 8 cores and 16 threads. If Ryzen 5 is for gaming, Ryzen 7 is for the person who wants to play that game while streaming it to an audience, keeping Discord open and having 50 Chrome tabs running in the background. It's built for creators who need that extra oomph for video rendering and heavy multitasking. You might also see the HS suffix in laptops, which offers high performance in thinner, lighter designs. But the real star here is the X3D variant on desktops. This uses AMD's 3D V-Cache technology, which is essentially a giant backpack of extra memory strapped to the chip. It makes Ryzen 7 the undisputed king of gaming frame rates, often beating chips that cost twice as much. Then there is Ryzen 9. With 12 to 16 cores, we have officially entered the overkill zone for most humans. This is designed for professionals and tech enthusiasts who do heavy lifting, like 8K video editing or complex scientific simulations. Most people who buy a Ryzen 9 only use about 5% of its power to browse Reddit. But hey, those benchmark numbers look great on a forum signature. It's AMD's flagship, competing directly with the most expensive chips Intel has to offer. Recently, AMD introduced a new naming scheme called Ryzen AI. These chips feature an NPU, or Neural Processing Unit. Think of this as a dedicated brain just for artificial intelligence tasks. Right now, that mostly means it makes your background blur look slightly more professional during video calls while you're secretly wearing pajama pants. It also helps with AI tools in Photoshop and Windows Copilot. By letting the NPU handle these tasks, your main CPU stays cool and your battery lasts much longer. For the business world, there is Ryzen Pro. These come in 3, 5, 7, and 9 variants, but they've basically gone to business school. They include features like Memory Guard, which encrypts your data. If a hacker tries to steal your files, all they get is a pile of digital gibberish. It also allows IT departments to manage thousands of computers remotely, so they don't have to walk to your desk every time you forget your password. If you're into handheld gaming, you've likely heard of the Ryzen Z1 and Z1 Extreme. These are specialized chips found in devices like the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go. They're essentially tiny gaming PCs that fit in your hands. They're highly optimized to give you a smooth gaming experience while trying desperately not to drain the battery in 45 minutes. Finally, we have the final boss, Ryzen Threadripper. This chip is physically the size of a small slice of toast and features anywhere from 24 to 96 cores. Using this for gaming is like using a SpaceX rocket to go to the grocery store across the street. It is meant for movie studios like Pixar or engineers building digital cities. It costs thousands of dollars. And if you have to ask the price, you definitely don't need it. So, there you have it. Ryzen 3 for the basics, Ryzen 5 for the gamers, Ryzen 7 and 9 for the pros, and Threadripper for people who own their own server farms. Choose wisely, or your computer might just downgrade itself to a calculator while you sleep.